In fact, let me just talk to him. Namaste.
Namaste, my brother.
Hey, how are you doing?
Doing well. How about you?
Yeah, I'm on top soil. I'm good.
All right.
We're good. Right. Do you want to say anything before we get into it?
No, I'm ready to go. Let's have a conversation.
Let's have a conversation. Right. Now, myself and yourself were talking, and you said, well, you're going to start to not pick a fight. Do you want to say pick a fight? Or you want to put some...
Yeah.
You want to pick a fight?
No, yeah, pick a fight. Yeah, pick a fight. But now the question is against what?
Yeah.
Right? If you're picking a fight, what are you picking the fight against? You're picking the fight against ignorance.
Okay.
So if you're a person, you know how people can identify as a male who identifies as female?
Right.
Or a female who identifies as male? Or an adult who identifies as a child? Well, some people are ignorant and they've been identifying as intelligent. So, some ignorant people who've been identifying as intelligent.
Right.
So it's our responsibility to clear that up. And for 23 years as the head of the Holy Catholic Church of the Black Messiah, and for 40 years overall, I've made it my life's work to try to bring clarity on any subject that we choose to address. Unfortunately, sometimes you have to be controversial to get people to even realize you're talking. Like, most people will hear you, but they don't hear you clearly because there's always everybody's saying the same thing. We're all, all the organizations, all the doctrines is the same. It's all consciousness. Why we can't work together. And it's like, no, if those that are conscious, right, the Nation of Islam, 100% conscious, doing what Baba Elijah Muhammad taught them to do, and Baba, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches them to do. But then you got some other people in the conscious organizations or groups. They're ignorant. Right? They're ignorant.
Before you say they're ignorant, I'm going to jump in here, but hold that sticker pin right there. The reason why I'm saying it because within like the Caribbean, especially Jamaica, when you say them ignorant, it's like an insult. It's not like the fact that...
it's meant to be. Yeah, it's meant to be an insult. That's exactly what it's meant to be. I know what I said.
It's like you're saying them. It's like you're saying them stupid.
Yes, I know. I agree. Stupid, ignorant. Go ahead, keep going. Let's see.
So you still want to say why you're ignoranty? It's like you don't have no sense.
Yeah. Yes. Go ahead. What else you got?
No, I'm just making sure that we're on the right page. I'm just making sure we're on the right page.
We're on the same page. We're on the right page and the same page.
Okay.
Now, why do we say that? If you stand up in a position of teacher,
right,
and leader and speaker, and you don't have your stuff together, I mean really together, not just get up there and say a couple of words and put a couple of Facebook posts and some Instagram posts and some, you know what I'm saying? Some YouTube page. No. Work more than your words. We had cases in the conscious community just in the last, 2-3 years. We had conscious speakers that have been convicted of all kind of stuff, illegal. And we got to say that ain't it. So yes, if we in the conscious community, we can't keep covering for the ignorant amongst us. No more than we want the people in the church to cover for the ignorant people or stupid people. Stupid means stunted. Ignorant means want to ignore what is reality.
Right.
If you're telling black people that we don't need to grow food, you talking about, I'm going to show you how to take $1,000 and you can become rich in 4 weeks. That's ignorant. Unless you're trading on the London Stock Exchange, which you can barely buy a stock for 1,000 pounds nowadays anyway, right? But unless you're some real trading on the stock exchange or really, we're going to go to Africa, we're going to buy gold, we're going to get gold from the sacred mine of Minnetonka, and I got a guy who I know, that's ignorant. Now, we've all been ignorant. That's why we can recognize it. We've all done stupid things in our life. And when we did stupid things, those of us who were honest enough with ourselves, we said, man, I was stupid. I got hoodwinked. I got lied to. I was a buffoon. You got to be able to say that. Now, if we could say that about ourselves, then damn near I could say it about somebody else. Because if I recognize that what you're doing is counterintuitive, counterproductive, then I'm gonna call it ignorant. If you're teaching people, for example, if you're coming from the Bible,
Right.
If you're coming from the Bible, if you are a member of the Hebrew Israelite branches, whatever group or branch you say you're a member of, and you're teaching from the Bible, and you telling people King James was a black man in 2025, that's ignorant. That's ignorant.
Right.
Because he wasn't. Now, if I can take a white picture of King James, give it to my little one, let him color it in between the lines, and I can make him black in the coloring. But he wasn't black. In fact, King James was a Satanist who wrote a book called Demonology, where he's worshiping Satan. So I understand we in the black community, amongst the Hebrew Israelites, I didn't say all Hebrew Israelites, because all Hebrew Israelites don't say that. But I'm talking about the ones that do. I know we're searching for an identity, but let's not identify it with the guy who kills his wife and he was a pedophile. Come on now. Come on, man. That's ignorant. If we're going to identify with Moses, I'm good with that. If we're going to identify with Abraham, I'm good with that. But we're going to identify with King James, I can't rock with you there. And so the Holy Cryptic Church of the Black Messiah, because we put ourselves in a position to be questioned. We put ourselves in open forum with our security, of course, always, to be talked to be debated with. I'll debate anybody, anywhere, anytime, within a proper debate forum. All that screaming, nah, I ain't got time for that. Sit down, like the way Van Sertima, Sheketi Diop, Henry Clark, Joseph Ben Yochanan, Gil Noble sat down, had conversation. You present your reality, not a lot of yelling, screaming. We don't need no cheerleading men with pom-poms and rhinestones and all that stuff. We don't need that. We need reality, especially at a time we preaching all this, we yelling all this. But where's the land? Where's the food being grown? Where's the manufacturing? Where's the business? Where's the trade? Where's those things? We standing on corners, and all of us in the conscious community yelling, we're right, we're right, we're right. And when we get checked, we get mad. You wouldn't have to get mad if you had the actual stuff. So now we're saying, I'm not going to attack you on a personal level. No. I'm saying King James wasn't a black man. I'm attacking your doctrine. I'm coming for your doctrine. I'm going to go at the teaching. Why? Because our people need reality. We don't need superheroes that aren't based on reality. I had enough Spider-Man in my life, enough Batman, Robin. You know what I'm saying? We need reality. So the Holy Cryptic Church of the Black Messiah, we're saying to everybody, hey, if you're a conscious teacher and you're about your doctrine and your doctrine has flaws, we're going to come and ask you some questions.
So
and if ours has flaws...
Go on, continue.
Yeah.
Go on. And
if ours has flaws, question it. Please. I'm begging you. But question it not off of your feelings and your opinion, off of what you have actually gone forth, researched, and verified. I need verification. Because when I'm questioning, I'm going off of what you teach. I've written over 70 somewhat books. Anybody, anytime is ready to take them, go ahead, take them apart, please. Why? Because first of all, if you win, I don't got to do this no more. I can go hang out. But, you know what I'm saying? So, you be doing me a favor. I ain't got to teach no more. What? I can get my chill off. What? Man, I've been doing this 40 years. I'm 52 years old, so imagine. I'll take a break. But until then, we're going after fake gods and false Christ. If you're advocating fake, if you're teaching that Yahweh or Yahweh or El or Elohim, which we know is Baal, known as Baal Hadad, according to the books of Hosea chapter 4, verse 16, where they talk about the people of Israel, which were the mixed seed, which were the group called the Jebusites and the Amorites and the Hittites. If you're teaching that these people who are worshiping Baal and got African people, melanated people saying, first of all, that you're not African.
Whoa. Listen.
No, I'm picking a fight.
I'm slowing you down. I'm not saying you're fighting me. I'm saying I'm going to slow you down because you're making a statement here and you're saying that this is Baal, and all the time I'm sure people are reading the Bible and saying, well, that's God.
Right.
That's the Lord. That's the Lord God.
And according to 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4, the God of this world is Satan. So yes, it is God. But we better make sure we're not worshiping Satan.
Say that again.
We better
I'm saying this so that people are writing this down. They can check it.
I know they're writing it down, but they got to keep up. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4. That Satan is the God of this world. So why everybody keep talking about worshiping God, ain't nobody told you that the God of this world, that the Hellenists took all across the world and usurped other people's indigenous spiritual systems, which was the original doctrine of the original scriptures of Ismail and Israel and Midiani, and replaced it with Hellenism and replaced it with Arabicism and replaced original Islam with the desert people from Nejd, which were Indo-Aryans who came in and usurped the power from the black Arabians and called a new religion that was no longer what we call Millata Ibrahim, a new religion that was no longer Ida Janasrullahi, but a new religion that should be called Mohammedism. Yes, we're going to address that for the sake of black people who are Muslims, many of our own families. Same thing for Hebrew doctrine. If you're saying that you're talking Yahweh and you're talking Elohim and El and Elo and Yahweh, these are the names of Canaanite gods who were already in that land before Abraham got there, and these people have usurped the book of Joshua. Joshua talks about Joshua 15, verse 64, tells you if you follow in the Bible, I'm just saying if you follow in the Bible, that the children of Judah could not drive out the Jebusites, and the Jebusites, one of the tribes of Canaan, were still residing in that land. So the people, in fact, in the same book, if you're going to follow the Bible, I'm only talking the Bible. Can't get mad at me because I'm talking the Bible. I'm giving you your own book. The same Bible tells us in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 16, it tells us in Ezekiel 16, say unto the ruler of Jerusalem, your father was an Amorite and your mother was a Hittite. So the people of Jerusalem and your sisters were Sodom and Gomorrah and Samaria. So these are Canaanites. So they got you following a book. They've hidden the original Bible. Now, if we, as the Holy Coptic Church of the Black Messiah, we believe in the original books of the Bible, but we smart enough to translate it for ourselves from the ancient, what they call Afro-Asiatic language, birthed out of the ancient hieroglyphic system of Tamaré, which is before what you're calling Hebrew. Hebrew is a part, Arabic is a part of what's called the Afro-Asiatic system, which was birthed from the Cushitic system of Ethiopia, which was birthed out of the Bantu cluster of languages of Africa. You don't gotta like what I just said, but it's the reality.
If I was you out there listening, if you can't take the notes, I'll be recording. I'm serious. I'll be recording because so what you're saying right now, they can verify.
Yeah, 100%. Matter of fact, don't even try to verify. Try to prove it wrong. Like I said, you're not going to get a white girl, get my chill on.
You know what a white girl. You don't really what a white girl.
Well, you never know. You never know. You give it a try at least.
Stop that.
Right? You won't know till you. Ain't that what they say? You won't know till you try it. You don't know what you like till you try it.
Listen, don't listen to him because some of you might be actually believing him. Right? This is him. This is our emphasis as he little kicks and fun.
But y'all understand? So the point that we're making is, again, we're talking doctrinal. So that black people, we can get back to a true. See, we are Nazarites. See, when you talk to the Hebrew doctrine, they have a Numbers chapter 6. For those who follow the Bible, they talk about the Nazarites. But nobody calls themselves Nazarites. When you go amongst the Christians, they talk about the Nazarites. But nobody wants to be Nazarites. When you go amongst the Muslims, they say either Janasrullahi wal Fat, the last degree given to Muhammad, revealed to him, which is today either Janasrullahi. So they use this with Nasri, helpers, aiders, watchers, Anzurni, to watch me. In the book of the Job 9:9 talks about the Mazaruf. So we're bringing resurrected Nazarite doctrine, the rites of Nazir, which predates the biblical patriarchs. The biblical patriarchs were born out of the Nazarites. The Nazarites were African people. Samson, you call a Nazarite. Well, that name Samson is not the way the Hellenization of the story takes place in what's called the Greek Septuagint or the Old Testament, the way they've rewritten it. They're telling you the story of Hercules, the true story of Shimshon or Shemish. His name was Shimshon. Not Samson, but that story comes from an African record of the Nazarites. When they're talking about his hair, they're talking about the power of the Nazir, the Shem. The name Samson is Shemish. Shemshon, the sun, S-U-N, which the book of Malachi calls the son of righteousness in the book of Malachi chapter 4. The sun, the literal S-U-N, which the book of Psalms 104th chapter talks about the temple of the sun, or the what we call the Aten, the Atenist, the At-Oneism. Christ says, when you see me, you see the Father, for I'm in the Father, and the Father is in me, and I'm in you, and you're in me, and I and my Father are one. The doctrine of At-Oneism, the doctrine of Atonism. I told our members for many years, we don't debate. Barbara Henry Clark says, I only debate with my equals, all others I teach. So there was no sense debating people. But now that our members have been training, and we got our priestesses and our priests, while everybody else was debating and arguing, you had the polites and them. Now here, I got locked up. He was doing ignorant. Ignorant. That's how it works, right? While all these guys was debating each other every week and getting the Sar Netters and the Ali Babas and the Sar Tazarats and all these other guys, and they sounded, we was buying land. We was growing crops. We was raising animals. Feed our people first. Food, shelter, reproduction. Can't feed yourself. All the other stuff is just hype. You can't shelter yourself. All the other stuff is just hype. You can't reproduce your children in a safe environment and educate a generation of children who are professional. Then everything you're saying is just hype. Because you judge a tree by the fruit it bears. So I said, well, we ain't going to debate till I get the first crew in. So we got those first group of kids, your nephews, your nieces, your daughters. Kahun, I'm talking to you.
I'm listening.
We got them through, and now they're professional. They're doing life. They just circling around this. We know their time gonna come, but now we got them through. I said, now enough of y'all don't learn. We don't do the critical theology. We understand about the difference between Yeshua, Horace, the African revelations, and another Jesus, another Christ, and another doctrine according to 2 Corinthians 11:4. We understand the difference here. Now let's go tell the people. Now we're not picking a fight because we don't love our Hebrew brothers, or we don't love our Muslim brothers, or we don't love our Christian brothers. We love you enough. But when you love a person, you tell them the truth. And that truth is going to sometimes be bitter. You know, a wise man once said, speak the truth, though it may be bitter to others. But now if you're a person who's a true seeker, if you're a person who's inquisitive, if you're a person who wants to learn with and share with and sup with, then this doctrine is going to resonate with you, because it's a doctrine that's made for this era. This era where racism, white supremacy is back. Make Europe great again. Make America great again. White nationalism. They are unifying under the banner of racism. You should be unifying under the banner of being a chosen people, but not under terminologies and interpretations and translations of books and doctrines that they gave to you. And you're just trying to put a little color on top. We don't need a little color. We need reality. And the only way to get that reality, we got to turn back to who and what we are as indigenous people. From the continent, at one time, everybody come out of Africa. The oldest bones on the planet Earth, the bones of Lucy. And not the bones of Adam. Not the bones of Adam. Nobody found the bones of Adam yet. We found the bones of Lucy, Ethiopian woman. We found the bones of Kenyan scene, but nobody found the bones of Adam. Now, I didn't say there's not an Adam. I'm just saying the way you're teaching it is some girl eating a fruit, an apple. I've eaten Red Delicious, Macintosh, Granny Smith, Gala, Washington. I've eaten all kind of apples, even eating the pomegranate. And ain't nobody ever eaten any of that and your eyes got open. So let's have a real conversation. We can't keep teaching as adults stories that are mythological in the way they sound. A talking snake? Really? Really? It was a snake that talked. Come on, man. Now, we, of time of day, when we understanding the original teachings as the Holy Coptic Church of the Black Messiah, oh, you mean a serpentine man? A person who was wise as a serpent, and a person who was presenting him? If you mean that, I'm with you. But you mean an actual, that kind of snake? They got all the black people now afraid of snakes. I ain't talking about vipers, but about snakes. That doesn't make sense. Come on, man. It's 2025. We still talking. For that, why don't we just make a book, the book of Jack and the Beanstalk? The book of the Three Little Pigs. Why don't we just put that in the Bible? See, now I sound crazy, but that's what they've done. The Hellenists, the Greeks, the Romans, the Vulgate, they have put mythological stories and replaced the original books of the Bible with the myth. And now we as black people are arguing over the myth, the fairy tale. And I'm saying we got to analyze that myth and that fairy tale so we can pick back up the original books of the Bible, because it's available. It exists. I ain't never heard of it. Right. That's how you know they did their job, because they made sure you never heard of it. But it's our job to make sure you have heard of it.
Whoa.
You Montu? Kahun.
I'm here.
Are you afraid?
Afraid of what?
I'm just having fun.
I'm listening. I'm saying, well, so does that mean now when we come here on a Monday, we're going to actually delve in the scriptures and start to look within the scriptures?
And, tell people call in.
Right.
I'm not talking about just the people who's going to call and say, I like what you said. Okay, I appreciate you. I want the people. See, when our brothers be out propagating, and and our people, our members at work, you always got people who be coming at us.
Right.
And be trying to say that, y'all this and y'all. Now's the time. All y'all who've been waiting to come for us, come on now. But come with your scripture, your Bible, your Quran, whatever you believe in. Come with your notebook and bring your point. But you got to come right. I ain't talking about no fight. Negroes always think of fight. If you want to swing physically, you've been defeated mentally. Come with your doctrine. And you say a point, we're going to investigate that point. Language is key. So if you're telling me the Bible, you better know your Hebrew. If you're telling me the Quran, you better know your Arabic. Because we're going to do the language our church teaches, language our Kanisa teaches, language our Hekul, sacred, our Menzel Rab, depending whatever language you speak. Our Kanisa says language is key. So when you talk to us, if you say New Testament, the books of Paul, we're going to the Greek. I don't care what King James or the Catholic Ballgate says. I'm going to look at the Greek word for word. If you're talking John and Revelation, I'm going to the Aramaic with you. Blue letter. Key study, Strong's Concordance, so you know it's there. If you're talking Old Testament, we're going Aramaic. We're going ancient Hebrew, not modern Hebrew. We can look at modern Hebrew, but we're going to do both. And that means you got to come prepared. Not to prove and disprove, to learn with and share with and sup with. But you say, well, why you got to say it this way? Because I got your attention now, don't I? See? If we came on like we've been doing for how many years now, my brother? Talking to people, no controversy.
Yep.
Oh, they just say, I like what you're saying, yeah. No, now I'm saying, don't like what we're saying, enjoy what we're doing. And if you don't like what we're saying, prove it wrong.
Okay, my brother, listen, we're going to take a break. I'm praying that you people out there are listening because this is what's coming. This is what's going to be coming, and we're saying to you out there, if you are seeking the truth, if you want to find the truth, the best way to find the truth is to ask questions. Because if you're in any establishment and they don't allow you to ask questions, you're in the wrong place. We're going to take a short break. After the break, we will be back. We're speaking to Abba says Aro Teptar, Dr. Amadou Varmah, and he's just laying the foundation for what's to come in the near future. Stay tuned. You're on the one. This is Supreme.
Always give people vibes. And for the very first time, stuck into their mind, it's like they get tired. It's a boy Egyptian in since one of the fullest. I'm a millennium, supreme. Naturally, it's like a magical being. See.
Okay, welcome back after that short break. Here we go. Right? As you've been listening to our session. He's saying that he's going to pick a fight. He's doing pick a fight with ignorance. That's what he was saying. He's saying he's going to deal with ignorance. That's right, my brother?
Yes, I did.
Yes. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Yes, I said that.
You're going to leave me hanging out there. No, I didn't say that. You're on your own. What I'm going to do now is, right, because I want people to get an idea and an example of what we've been taking in and been believing. So I'm just going to read from the first page in what we would call Genesis, where it says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters, and God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw that the light was good, and God divided the light into darkness, and God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day.
Okay.
Now, when we read this, we see this as, when you read all of this section, you see as God creating earth within 7 days. You see it as you know, God dividing the water, dividing the air and the land, and then putting on animals and fishes in the sea, and all these things God did. And now with that in mind, right, based on what we were just saying a while ago when you said God is Satan and ruling the planet, how does all this tie up?
Well, first and foremost, let's be clear. When we are talking about the Bible you're holding today,
right,
where they say the oldest Bible that gives birth to the English Bible is the Greek Septuagint. And these Greeks, being Hellenists, were getting their teaching out of Norse mythology with Thor and Odin, that give birth to Zeus and Poseidon and Demeter and Hades, that gives birth to the Roman progeny with Jupiter, Dionysius, and the Roman pantheon. Now, what a lot of people don't realize, when we're looking at that translation and that interpretation of a God saying, and in the beginning God created the heavens and earth, that's pros edda. And I can read, this is from chapter 4 of the Norse mythology. I did not say the original indigenous teaching because we didn't have a beginning. The book of Genesis is not called Genesis. The minute you say Genesis, you're saying Greek Genesis, and it does not mean beginning. The Greek word Genesis, I'm going to say this again for the people in the background. The Greek word Genesis does not mean beginning. That word that everyone's walking around, Genesis, means what in Greek? Most people don't realize they had what's called the birth, the origin, right? They'll say generation of creation. That's in the Greek. But in Greek theogony, there's a writer called Hesiod. And he speaks about the Greek Genesis. And it doesn't, most people don't know the Greeks have a Genesis. Has to look up Hesiod's theogony, the Macedonian doctrine about the Greek. They literally call it the Greek Genesis. Now, that's what they have replaced, because when you read the Septuagint in Greek, they mention Uranus, they mention Gaia, they mention chaos. In the Greek, when it says the void, the great abyss, Tartarus, they use Hades. Any person who doesn't believe it, just go right now online and type in Greek Bible and read Blue Letter Bible. Go blueletterbible.com. The Blue Letter, just type in the word Blue Letter Bible. You'll get it online and go to it and go to LLX, which is the Greek. And when you click it, it does not read the way they taught you. Somebody replaced original Nazarite, original African indigenous doctrine, and have given us what should be recognized as Norse mythology and Greek mythology. So again, let's read it from the Greek. I'm going to do both, if that's okay with you.
That's okay, go.
All right, so should we do Greek first, or should we do the Norse mythology?
Let's do the Greek, because everybody can relate to the Greek.
Okay, so we're going to look in the Greek. So I'm going to Blue Letter Bible. So for everybody at home, you go to Blue Letter Bible, blueletterbible.org. Click it. It's going to open up. When it opens up, you're going to see KJV, King James Version. Second row, NKJV, New King James Version. Count down from the second from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll see VUL. That's Vulgate. That's Latin. Go back to the first row, King JV, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, LXX. Click it. You're now going to be looking at Greek. Type in GEN, Genesis 1. Hit go. And now we're looking at the Bible, Old Testament in Greek. All right. Now we're going to click it. GAN 1:1. And they write in Greek, in article. Theo ho theos, ho Oranos, kai ho Gaia. Orion and Gaia in Greek mythology. I want everybody hold that position right there. Please. before you get mad at me, hold that position right there and go to the same Bible that you've been saying is the good book. Hold that position, and I want us to type who are Orion and Gaia in Greek mythology, because the people writing it were Greeks, giving you a Greek story, but telling you it's an indigenous African Hebraic story. In Greek mythology, Gaia is the personification of Earth and a primordial deity, often referred to as the Earth Mother, according to Greek mythology. And Orion, on the other hand, is a famous hunter, often depicted as a giant in Greek mythology. So let's go back. Like I said, don't get mad. It's time to be glad, because it's true. In Arche, that word Arche that they're telling you is in the beginning, this is saying in the archaic period. In the archaic period, the word Arche, A-R-C-H-E, they have it here, Arche. When we click on it to find out what it means, it's a feminine part of speech. Strong's Concordance tells us, it says application, corner, magistrate, power, principle, principalities. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities of spiritual wickedness in great and high places, according to Ephesians 6. This is principalities. It goes on, it says origin. It goes on, it says extremity of a thing. It says of angels, the beginning of angels and demons. This is underneath the biblical usage of angels and demons. So Arche means angels and demons. So the Greeks are talking about demons. And in the Greek religion, demons were not bad to the Greeks. The Greeks worshiped the demons for Damion. Again, I'm not saying it. I'm just telling you the Bible you're reading. I didn't say it's not an original book of the Bible. I'm saying what they're giving you and me is not it. It goes on. Thayer's Greek lexicon. Oh, that this word Arche comes from Homer's Odyssey underneath Strong's G746. Are you doing this with me, my brother?
No, I can't do it with you. I don't have the facility, but I'll make sure that next time I'll do it with you.
Pray there on their phone right now. Yep. Homer. It says from Homer down. Arche started from the time the word archaic began during the time of Homer. Homer wrote Greek scripture called the Iliad. Homer wrote Greek scripture called the Odyssey. Homer wrote Greek scripture called Jason and the Argonauts. Wait a minute, which to the Greeks was not a story, it was their religion. So you had Greeks who were translating, interpreting, and constructing the spiritual book that African, indigenous, and melanin people of the world are now following. And we don't think that they're going to put Greek, and more Greek, and have us thinking like Greeks about some Greek forces in spirit. And they literally said from Homer down, and in the Septuagint, mostly equivalent to Rashid. So the Greeks have their own understanding of beginning, where they're putting who? Orion in the Greek beginning, and Gaia. Those are the Greek gods in their Greek story. When we take that, let's read First Edda about their beginning. I'm going to read it the way the Norsemen would read it. They'll say, said Ganglier, how cameth the world into existence? Or how did it rise? What was before made answer to him hard. Thus it is said in Vala's prophecy, it was time's morning, when there nothing was, nor sand, nor sea, nor cooling billows. Earth there was not, nor heaven above. The Ginnagat was but grass nowhere. Jennifer remarked, many ages before the earth was made, Nephilim, they call it, had existed. That sounds like what these Greeks took from the Norsemen and are giving it to you and me as indigenous people. And my Hebrew brothers who don't know this, my Hebrew sisters who don't know this, my Muslim brothers and sisters who don't know this, because we don't study the other side of the chessboard. We only study the side we like. You got to study your opponent. You think your opponent is going to play fair? You think he's going to give you the real scriptures? Come on. Oh, they're not like what we just said. Man, I'm sorry to be sorry, but I ain't sorry. Let's go. We need our people to wake up.
Of course.
We need our people to wake up.
Of course.
That's all. We just talking wake up. If you mad, change the station. You know, I always tell people, if you come to Supreme Radio to listen to the Renewed Cryptic Essential show, and you come in to listen to Kahun Montu talk, and he's talking and you getting mad, you want to throw the phone, Don't throw the phone. Just shut down. Just quit. Don't listen. But you know why you can't help but listen? Ooh, because controversy. Ooh, everybody likes a good fight. Ooh, everybody likes a good debate. Ooh, everybody like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Something inside of you likes the truth. And the truth, they're wrestling against ignorance. Ignorance is going to make you want to shut the phone. Oh, hey, Rob, I see that brother. The truth in you is making you go, damn, he got a point. I ain't never heard this before. And that's why we waited till the right time. You let in chess, the pawns go first. We let all the debate people debate. And we watched and we waited. I said, don't worry, the day will come. Now's the day. They done said all the best they could say. And no one prepared for the Nazarite doctrine. We're going to go out here and set things straight. And we're going to work with all our family. We work with the Hebrews, the Moors. We work with the nation. We work with anybody. But in that work, what we ask is, let's be realistic and talk reality and truth and fact. And let's do our homework past what's comfortable. If you only study what the teacher told you to study, you're going to be cramming when it's time for finals. Study beyond what's just comfortable. Study beyond what you like. You may not like what we're saying, but it's what we're saying. It's valid and confirmable. I ain't never heard of no pros edda. That's how you know you got some work to do. If you're a scholar of the scripture, nothing no one's going to mention. Don't tell me in the Bible, in the books of Kings and 2 Kings, when it talks about the people of Cuth worship Nergal. Nergal is a Babylonian god. You Hebrews, one more now. Y'all know anything about Nergal? No, but it's in your Bible. It mentioned Tartarus. Do you know Tartarus? No, but it's in your Bible. It mentioned Ethiopia. God mentions in the Bible to the Christians. God mentions Ethiopia. You know anything about Ethiopia? Nope. God mentions Libya. You know anything about Libya? Nope. God mentions Egypt. You want to study Egypt? Nope. God mentions Rome. Do you know anything about Rome? No. So all the places, Babylon, you know nothing about Babylon. Ezekiel's in a place called Chaldea. He's in the land of Euphrates, at the Chibar River. You know anything about the Chibar River? If I ask any of my Hebrew or Christian brothers and sisters, show me the Chibar River on a map. You couldn't find it. Why not? Because you've only studied what was comfortable. Well, it's time to be uncomfortable. It's time to be uncomfortable so we can bring back righteousness, to be right, to be able to handle truth.
So when people are listening to this, and we're going to set it up for the next meeting, that where you can call in, right? And when you call in, you'll be given. You give us the number that you want us, then we'll call you back, and then you can talk to Basesh live. And you can ask the question. If we're getting rude and stuff like that, we will just take you off. But obviously, if we're talking with respect, because Abba says we'll speak to you with respect, and I will speak to you with respect, so I'll expect anybody else that comes in to speak to us with respect. You'll be able to talk and put your point across, right? And
you're not gonna let them talk about your mama. You're gonna let them talk about your mama.
No, they won't be talking about my mama.
Oh, okay, I'm just asking.
So you will have the chance to do that. And I'm praying that what you heard a while ago made you stop and go, that's different. That's different. Because it is different. It's not different to us, but I'm sure it's different to you if you've never seen this or heard this before. Because we're a teaching church, and that's when language is key. All these things is what we say week in, week out. So when we have Abba Sesh here, he's been treading water for a long time. So now is the time. So I'm saying to all Muslims out there, all Christians out there, all Hebrews out there, if you want the truth, and you're willing to say,
wait. Can you say black people that are Muslim?
Okay.
Black people that are Hebrews.
Yes, that's true. That's
why?
true.
Because I'm not concerned. I don't want to talk to the Canaanite.
But you just asked for Becky.
No, I want to date her. I'm just joking, but hell, right? No, we're concerned with our people.
Yeah, that's real.
If you're melanin, indigenous melanin of anywhere in the world, we'll talk to you. If you're Harappan civilization, southern India, we'll talk to you. But other than that, we're not interested in talking to people who helped to put us in the condition that we're in. No thank you. And we have that right. We have that right. That's what I love about this no more political correctness. We can say what we feel. So this is what we feel. with all due respect, not interested. If you're not a Melaninite, we appreciate your comments. You can leave it to keepcomments.com. We'll stay there, and we're not interested. That's it. Your comments don't matter here. You want people of melanin descendancy who are interested in melanin liberation and are interested in fighting and joining to make our people liberated, not just religiously, but economically, socially, buying land, resources, development, making sure our children are educated properly in both their world and our world so they can move in and out of the worlds when necessary. That's it. Other than that, I'm not interested in a long conversation.
Yeah, I think that's clear. Right?
Very clear.
So when you see the advert come up here, boom, get involved. Don't. And I know some of us is just going to sit back and say, I'm going to see what happens to John. I'm going to see what happens to Paul. I'm going to see what happens to Josephine. You know what I'm saying? No, nothing's going to happen to anybody except that they will be.
They're going to get woken up and converted.
That's it.
They're going to get woken up and converted. That's all. They're just going to get woken up and converted. They're going to know more than what our job is to get you to want to know more than what you know. Like I said, we're not. When we say pick a fight, the fight is against ignorance. To go after anything ignorant that any of us believe in such a way that you decide you want to know more, you do better investigation, better analyzing, and you become a better person. Ultimately, we'll joke and we'll laugh, but ultimately, that's what it's about: making good people become better.
Yeah,
that's it.
There you go. Oh, so we're bringing it to a close. We've got about 3.5 minutes or 4.5 minutes or so, yes, before it closes. Do you want to close out with something, my brother?
Oh, well, all I can say to everybody again, I look forward to these conversations. I pray that, and I know between now and then, they're going to be calling you next Monday trying to start
it's
with
okay.
You, so
we can take that on.
Oh, I know you. I know that. I know. I just said I'm looking forward to you go first, right? So, right. With all due respect to everybody, thank you for listening. Again, if you got offended, that's good. That means we got your attention. Shock and awe gets the attention of the people. To all my fellow atonists out there, I'm showing you as your Basesh, this is how you got to take the message to the people. No more being soft with it. Be direct. Don't be mean. Don't be mean-spirited. Quiet dignity and grace, but not so quiet that they don't hear our voice. Quiet means decency. We're talking to you with respect, but you deliver that message. If you're an atonist Cardassian listening out there, take the message to the people and tell them the truth. Let them know what's real. Challenge the old ways. Challenge the ignorance, and bring about a renewed order back to laws, back to commandments, not some translation and misinterpretation of commandments, but real commandments that make us better people. I pray everybody receives that message with the way in which it was intended.
Okay, there you go. Again, my brother, we really thank you for coming in. And I hope somebody recorded it for me. Please tell me somebody recorded it. so if not, hey, it is what it is. Again, we thank you. We're going to catch you in a few weeks' time. And like I said, they'll probably throw some questions at me. We'll take it from there. And then we'll bring you in later to do some more punching. All right? Oh, no.
Thank you. Thank you as always.
To do some more... smoothing out. Okay. All right, my brother. Namaste.
Okay. All right, my brother. Namaste.
Okay, that's our Basesh, Dr. Amadou Varmah, Haro Tepta. He was just putting it very blunt so that people could understand, see what was going on, know within themselves that, you know what, this is what we're going to expect. You know, for years we've been here just talking, and being very pleasant to everyone and just dropping little bits and pieces. The idea of the show is that it's called Renewed Coptic Essential. It is an essential information that we need to have. It's very essential. So even when we talk about, or we play the music, that's just to let people realize there is good music out there. Right, so we play music from all different genres and try to bring our attention to those things. Now we're saying, okay, now let's analyze the scriptures. Let's analyze our doctrine. Let's analyze your doctrine. And let's see if it can stand up to being questioned. We just are saying, look, too long have we been sitting down here and taking on other people's point of view and then defending it when it doesn't make sense. We're defending things that just don't make sense. We got to make it make sense. We've got to stop defending what's not ours. right? There's no way that we were here and somebody enslaved us, someone subjugated us, someone did all the atrocities they did to us, and then they gave us the keys to freedom. They wouldn't do that. That doesn't make sense. And once we can get that understanding, then we can maybe start being able to reach out to people and try to help people. And for the conscious people that say, yeah, well, we know all about religion. No, but the people that are in religion need to know about religion. So you need to know in order to talk to them in their language so that we can bring them out. Anyway, we're going to take a short break. After the break, we're going to be looking at what's happening next, what happened over the weekend, and those sort of things, future comings and what's taking place. Stay tuned. You're on the one. This is Supreme.